Hello there.
Hello?
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast, All of the Movies, where we discuss, well, all of the movies. My name is Emily, co-host here along with Erinn. We have been best friends for over a decade, traveled together, lived together, and have shared the same enthusiasm for all things movies. So we decided to start recording our movie conversations and create a joint YouTube channel, now podcast, to share with all of you guys. Thanks for watching or listening, and let's get into this week's episode.
Boom.
Boom. Okay.
How you like them apples? We're back.
We're back. We're different, but still the same, I think.
Wow, that was deep.
Yeah.
Different, but still the same. You said nothing, but it was still, I felt it, in here.
Oh, my word. Okay, so my name is Emily, co-host here with Erinn, and we did this, we started a YouTube channel, in 2018?
Yeah, I think it was like at the end of 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018.
Middle,
about
summertime, somewhere. 2018. Who needs
2018.
specifics?
Circa.
Circa 2018.
So we started a YouTube channel because we both absolutely love movies for different reasons, I think, but still love movies. And we had so much fun doing the discussion videos, and then we did some trailer reaction videos and some other type of videos, but our main content was like our 40-minute to an hour-long discussion videos edited together with clips of the movies and just fun things. And then life happens, and that project was a little bit too much to sustain. And so it kind of went to the wayside. But now with COVID and all of this stuff happening, we wanted to reboot. There it is.
Life got a lot more simple because of COVID. Slowed things down, and we were ready to have something else to do. But, well, at least me, ready to have something else to do besides work. COVID has screwed my work-life balance because now I just wake up and work all day and then go back to sleep. And so this is a nice break from that. Yeah.
Nice, refreshing break, which is kind of why we started it in the first place.
Yeah,
back
for
in
sure.
2018, we were like, let's do something.
Yeah.
But now it's a little bit different because it's more of a podcast. If you watch or if you have watched those discussion videos on movies, you can see that we go into tangents when we're talking about a film. Either it reminds us of another film or another actor or a story or something. And so now we're just going to embrace our
ADD.
Yeah, exactly. And put that out a little bit more unedited, unfiltered version.
It's all of the movies raw.
Unfiltered.
It's unfiltered. It's the director's cut.
I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
Audio commentary. Yeah.
Yes, which is what we're going to be doing from now on instead of focusing on one specific movie. We'll have like a broad topic of the movie, but wherever that conversation leads is where it leads. So I think
we're just going to come on here and talk.
Fun, yeah. Commentary on directors, movies, news.
We might throw a review in there every now and then, but yeah, for the most part, if it's like a big deal, there's definitely some movies out there I think that are going to be worth at least trying to not tangent around. But yeah, I think for the most part, we're just going to talk movies.
Yeah. So if you like that, you can do what, Erinn?
You can subscribe. You can subscribe to this podcast on YouTube and wherever you stream your podcasts.
Yes. I like that. And like.
Equal opportunity podcasters. All of the podcast places where you stream podcasts, that's where it's going to be.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have that shameless plug out of the way,
Yes.
Speaking of COVID.
Speaking of COVID.
Well, actually, no.
The world is turning upside down right now.
First, I think before speaking about COVID and how that has kind of changed the way we watch movies now, let's talk a little bit about ourselves.
Oh, man. We're getting millennial right now.
Hi, my name's Emily. I like the X-Files. No, but for real, because we have known each other for over a decade now.
Yeah, long time.
Long time. And we even lived together
we're talking like 14 years almost now.
Yeah, because I'll be 28 and we met when I was 13.
Yeah, so we're talking 15 years.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like a decade and a half.
It's weird.
Isn't that crazy?
It hurts my soul a little bit that I've been able to know someone for 15 years, like that I'm old enough to, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Ouch, man, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, so today's my sister's birthday, Rebecca. She turns 30. Okay, so she's 30 today.
Happy birthday, Rebecca.
So I sent her a meme, which is my favorite. Just while we're on the topic of getting old.
Older. We're still both sub 30, so we're still, yeah. Come
more
on
wise.
Now.
Okay, so I sent her this.
Oh yeah. That is my favorite meme for 90s kids right now. I've seen it all over the place, and every time I see it, it gives me just the warm fuzzies and also the terror of 30 being right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's poignant because that's a movie, Jurassic Park.
Yes, it is Jurassic Park, yep.
Right? So just tied it all
So it matters. See, it's not really a tangent. You thought we were going to be going off on some like weird, we bring it right back. Jurassic Park. Full circle.
But yeah, we even lived together for 2.5 years. 2.5?
2.5, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and one of our traditions was girls' night. And girls' night was every Wednesday. We were pretty much dating.
Yeah, I know. Looking back on those 2.5 years, I'm like, that is the realest relationship I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because we work together, we live together, and every Wednesday night we went on a date. We had date night.
Yeah. We went out to eat at a restaurant with some drinks, you know, and then we'd go and watch a movie in the theaters.
Or two.
And then even on weekends sometimes, you know.
Yep. I spent a lot of money on movies when you were living here.
Well, you know.
It was worth it, man. It was so worth it. Yeah.
It was an investment, okay?
It was. It was an investment in my future. And I didn't even know it, you know?
And then when your parents went off for their anniversary, what did we do?
We did nothing but watch movies for 4 weeks. It was probably... Mentally, it was very healthy, but I think physically we probably should have done other things rather than... So we would get back from work, and we literally would sit down on the couch that we had moved towards in front of the television in our living room and watch movies until... normally 4. A movie I hadn't seen, but Emily had. A movie Emily hadn't seen, but I had. A movie we both had not seen, and a movie we both had seen. Every night.
Every night.
Every night for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
So unhealthy.
Yeah, so we know a lot about movies because we've seen a lot of movies. Yeah.
Together, we've introduced each other to different movies, to different genres, like Terminator. I'm a huge sci-fi person, if you can't already know that. And so I introduced Erinn to some really good sci-fi movies.
And some really bad sci-fi movies.
Like Waterworld.
Oh, that movie just hurts my feelings. It just hurts.
It's so good.
I know, it's so bad. It's so long.
It is long.
It's such a long movie. No, that one's not good. But Terminator ended up being my favorite series of all time. Like that's my favorite series of movies ever. Terminator 2 is like one of the best movies of all time. And like I didn't know this then, but my mom is like this giant sci-fi movie nerd, and she never passed that on to me. Like her love of sci-fi movies. So disappointed in
A
her.
shame.
I'm not angry, I'm disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah,
Isn't that kind of worse?
It is worse. It is worse. I flipped the scripts on her. Not that she was ever disappointed in me. I'm a perfect child.
Never.
Never.
You're the oldest. You can't do any wrong.
Can do no wrong. Firstborns never get in trouble for anything.
Neither do babies.
Yes,
See,
that's actually true, though. The babies never do get in trouble for anything. You can ask my brother.
Ask me. I'm a baby.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not a baby in that way. I'm the baby of the family.
Right.
Hey.
But yeah. So I introduced you to some indie flicks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that probably were not on your radar because they were just not your style.
More so, I think not indie, because I do like indie films. I think it's more so the romantic comedies or like more romantic movies.
I definitely got you watching some chick
like
flicks.
When Harry Met Sally, Notting
Hill. I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy.
Yeah, those type.
I
probably would have never watched those movies.
Yeah, but those are like classics. I'm talking like because I think I introduced you to Stranger Than Fiction, right? With Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of my favorite movies of all time, and most people don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
So there are some.
I'm not too huge of a Will Ferrell fan in the first place.
Me either.
So again, like I probably would have never.
Yeah.
Really watched that film.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not either. I'm not. I think he goes too far. Like he pushes the boundaries of what funny is. And it's not funny.
Right.
But yeah, Stranger Than Fiction is like one of the best movies I've ever seen. And he's brilliant in it. I mean, dude can act. He's got chops, but he just always sacrifices that for
dumb humor.
The laugh. Like Talladega Nights. Ugh.
Now, okay, so
But Anchorman?
It's a weird.
Anchorman.
See, I don't like Anchorman. I like Anchorman. Certain parts in Will Ferrell movies. Like some of them, it's like that is hilarious, so funny.
Yeah.
But then right after that, something really dumb happens, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it's like they want everybody to have a joke, and so they sacrifice like the overall funniness of the movie just to make sure that everyone can have their. And it just makes it less interesting.
And a little lame.
Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes it just gets gross. Like, Will Ferrell can just be kind of gross.
Yeah, not my favorite person.
Like, he's just, he's not my least favorite actor out there.
No.
Because I think he actually truly can act. Like, I think he's again, I keep harping on this movie, but Stranger Than Fact, going back to that movie, he acts really like he's a great actor in that film. So maybe it's just that one movie with that one director and that one cast.
It was really Maggie
Gyllenhaal.
It was Maggie.
It was Maggie. But I don't know. Most movies he's just not great in, but he's not the worst actor of all time. That's a title set for you know who.
I know, which I think he's a fantastic actor.
Dude can act.
Yes, he can. Have you not seen War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
So his movies.
Good.
The movies that I like of Tom Cruise are all in spite of Tom Cruise. Like, he's like the Taylor Swift of movies to me. Taylor Swift's music is not bad, but it's always better when someone else sings it. I feel like Tom Cruise's...
It's gotten better, though.
Well, still, but I still stand by my point.
Yeah.
If someone else sings her music, it's automatically better.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
And Tom Cruise, like, I feel like if anyone else would act in his, maybe not his, like, you know, Top Gun, I really couldn't see anybody else except for Tom Cruise playing that role. But that's the one role he knows how to play. And he's still just totally average. And he's short.
He's 5'6",
which means nothing.
And like 3/4.
Oh, if you have to give a guy 3/4 of an inch, then they're short.
Hey.
But yeah, he's definitely like my least favorite actor of all time, and I know that hurts you because he's like your favorite. Yeah,
I love him. On a sadder note, I sold my car.
Yes, you did. Not too long ago. It's still fresh. The wounds are still healing.
Fresh.
Yeah.
But this is how and this isn't quite a tangent. It's just kind of like
just wait for
example. It's an example.
Full circle.
So yeah. I just sold my car, which I got in 2013. It was a Dodge Challenger. I love that car. I still love that car. And when I'm older, I will buy another Dodge Challenger. Anyways, his name was Tom. And his name was Tom, not only because I love Tom Cruise, but this is so... I love it.
This is like true confessions.
It's cool, okay? I named him Tom because I would go cruising in him.
Oh my word. Are you serious? You never told me that.
It's such a great pun.
I think it needs to be a rap right now. Like, I don't know if we can still be talking.
It's so great. But yes, so his name was Tom. Because I would go
and tell the people what your dog's name is.
And yeah, my dog's name is Maverick.
Yeah.
Named after his call sign in Top Gun. Yeah. Yes.
So she's not like a fan or anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
You've got to have one of those actors, though, right? Like, who is your Tom Cruise?
My like favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, that you like in their movies, but also like what you've seen of them personally.
Probably Leonardo DiCaprio if we're going like actors, like male actors. I think he's like epically talented. Mm-hmm. He's been talented since he was a little kid.
Yeah. He
didn't get his fair shake, I don't think, when it came to like awards and stuff. One Oscar of all of the movies that he's in where he should have, plus I think he's just like an honestly decent human being. He cares about the environment. He cares about, his causes. He's very, and I know a lot of people are, you're an actor, just stick to acting. But like when they can be a good person and like use their platform for something.
Well, not only their platform, but all those like his money. Like,
yeah, well, his money. Yeah, because that's another thing. I think he's not all talk. He truly tries to. He's given speeches on, on climate change and all of these things that, and he's just like a decent human being. Ashton Kutcher is another one where I think he's completely underrated as an actor. Yeah. And
I saw his like court hearings or whatever that he did.
Yeah, he's like a brilliant guy. Yeah. I think a lot of people, maybe even our age specifically, think of him as,
Kelso.
Michael Kelso in that 70s show. And so they give him, not his fair shake, but he can act his butt off. And he's also another guy who's like a kind of a decent human being. But yeah.
Speaking of, so me and Anthony, and I know this, that 70s show is a TV show, but since he is an actor, anyways.
It counts.
It counts.
But this is our channel. We can do whatever we want.
Right. Because me and Anthony were watching like that 70s show again. Because I've never seen it in consecutive order. And Jackie, which is Mila Kunis, which is his now wife, and, was girlfriend in that show. The very first episode, I was like, she looks so young. Like, how old is she?
She was
So
like 14 or 15, I think.
yeah,
right?
so I went through and I was like, she was 15.
Mhm.
And then I was looking at all the other cast members and I was like, Ashton Kutcher was 21.
Mhm. And uh
And they were kissing.
Her first kiss ever was with him for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, you think about it now and you're like, oh, they're perfect together. They were girlfriend and boyfriend on the show. And then, they acted together.
Anybody
in,
who
like, a
ever
movie
shipped them in that 70s show was like, yes, life is the best. This is
they got
it'd be
together.
like Ross.
They have
It'd be like
kids now.
It'd be like Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer getting together.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's like Ross and Rachel are together. It's happening
in real life.
Yeah.
But if you think about it,
kind of gross.
when they first were like together,
Yeah.
she was 15 and
Yeah.
he was 21.
Yeah, people get arrested for those kinds of relationships.
Yes,
Yep.
very much so.
Yep.
And they are pretty provocative in that show.
Yeah, man, it wasn't.
And so like that first season, I was
Yeah.
like, she's 15.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, it's just sometimes movies and TV shows by extension, they definitely push the boundaries and cross the line. And I think a lot of the MeToo movement spoke to that, where it wasn't just so much the, sexual harassment and all of those things of the producers, but also what the directors and
The content
the
that they were
content that they were
creating.
making these women and girls, well, if you want to be a star, this is what you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
But not holding the guys to the same standard. I think a lot of that came, you see it looking back now, you see how systemic that problem was in film and TV. But yeah.
Well, speaking of, and my dad actually showed me this movie because he was like, he watched it when he was younger, and it wasn't until he was older that he was like, wait a second, she was like 15 in that film. And it's Brooke Shields in Island of Blue. Oh, freak. What is it?
I don't know.
But she's like 15. It's her and her brother are very young. They're on a ship, and the ship crashes, and they find them Blue Lagoon. Yes. So they're
Thank you, Google.
So they're on the island together, and they live not really knowing what sex is or whatnot. She starts her time and she freaks out because she doesn't know what it is, but then she's like, no, I think this is normal. But then her and her brother are going through hormonal changes and puberty and finding out what sex is and kissing, and they're on that island by themselves, like, they don't know any better, so they have sex, and she gets pregnant with her brother's baby. Very awkward.
Some Game of Thrones type stuff right there.
Right? But the thing is, she is nude in this movie.
Yes,
that's
like child pornography, right?
As a 15-year-old girl, if not younger. I don't remember her exact age, but you have that movie in it, and it was widely renowned, and now, and you parallel that to today, and we have the hashtag CancelNetflix because of this French film, and how I haven't watched it yet. But
I haven't seen it either, but I have heard of it.
But if you look at the two posters, like the French poster, American poster, like the French poster portrays it as
it's like
a coming of
cheerleading or
age
dancing
story.
or something, right?
Yeah, it's dancing. And it's like a coming of age story about, I think, like 11, 12-year-old or something like that, maybe even a little younger. And the French poster is like these girls with like bags, and they're like, yay, and then you have the American poster, which looks like Magic Mike for little girls.
It really does.
And so you have this whole like cancel Netflix, kind of thing. even though this movie won a Sundance Film Festival award.
Yeah, it won a Critics' Choice, I think, at Sundance. Yeah, I was reading about it because I was like, now, fast forward a couple of years after the Me Too movement, maybe people are kind of erring on the side of caution when it comes to certain things, and so I'm always very much I have been forever, but especially in today's society, I feel like you have to be as informed as you can be before you kind of like make up your decision on what side of the coin you're gonna fall on. But I was reading some articles about this whole cancel Netflix thing, and with this movie specifically, and I was like, well, let me how bad could it be? Turns out very. Yeah.
So I like, there's a curiosity in me that's like, okay, before I judge it or whatever, I want to watch it.
Yeah, judge a book by its cover because it's just the poster. Could it really be that bad?
Yeah, and so like I want to watch it, but then I've read some articles where they're like, no, it's like a girl, like an 11-year-old taking a picture of her downstairs, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
see, that's like,
and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it is as bad as they're saying. Yeah, but I still like, there's still that curiosity of like, I want to see it,
and I think that's what
it is.
The people who, you have to think that the people who made the movie or the TV show or whatever piece of art that they say they're creating, you have to think that they know that the poster,
how to market
sells,
it.
Right. So provocative is better in that circumstance. And again, this is their thought process, and I'm not saying it's right because I think it's garbage, and I think they're disgusting, dirty, rotten pigs for doing this, especially little kids. Like I don't get. But then when you've got the content being as provocative as the marketing materials, then you're crossing a line. But look at look at the majority of TV shows and movies that are centered around kids and teenagers that are anything beyond a PG-13 level. I mean, the TV shows now that you've got with teenagers and adolescents, anyone underage, they're like raunchy, out of control and raunchy and just sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and like,
what was that movie that came out with all of the like young boys, and all of the boys were like just cussing, and it was like, what was that movie? It has like the little kid that was in that horror movie.
It just came out like last year.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but I know what movie you're talking about. Like, Daddy's Boys or some, what was it called?
Dang it. I can't remember, but it has like the main boy is, I think, from a horror movie where he's like a demon child.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but I do know what movie you're talking about because I remember watching the trailer and I was like, this is not funny.
But no. Yeah, and they're like, dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah,
like,
they're like
all
kids.
kinds of stuff.
And then parents, are getting mad at their kids or whatever, trying to teach their kids the right things to do and say and, whatever. But how can you expect any kid to make it out of like first grade without ever dropping the F-bomb?
Right.
When this is the content that's created with people their own age. So it's, it's their peers. It's, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it's different when it's adults in movies because most of those movies are made for adults. And sometimes, like, I think that movie that I can't remember the name of it, but I think it was rated R. So it was made for adults, but still.
But why would you
make a movie?
An adult movie about young boys?
Yeah, because that's kind of pervy, number one. and number two, like, those actors have to like, yes, they're
say and go
professionals,
through.
but they're still little kids.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was
Yeah.
only like 10 or something.
Yeah, so
Like they're only 10.
that's messed up to me. I don't get why Hollywood tries to push the envelope like that.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is just my humble opinion because it came after It. And
Yeah.
I love that first movie. But again, the kids in the movie, they drop the F-bomb and like, that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it's just a little different because like I don't know like how it's different actually.
It wasn't gratuitous, maybe?
Yeah,
it wasn't, they
it
weren't doing it for the laughs. It was like
it seemed natural. It seemed normal because we were all that age and we all remember the kids who cussed and like did that kind of stuff, but like
Toby
there's
Wiedebaum. My mom will know that name. Yeah, he's the one who taught me how to say the F word in kindergarten.
Oh my. I think the first time I said the F word was maybe like 4th grade.
Oh yeah, no, it was a total accident. I had no idea what it meant. I was playing the rhyming game and my mom said truck and I said,
oh no.
Yep. We had just picked up my grandmother from the airport and everybody's head in the car was like whipped back around at me in my car seat.
What did you say?
Yeah, and that's exactly, my mom was like, Erinn, sweetheart, what did you say? And I said, and she's like, where did you hear that word? Because neither one of my parents curse. My mom gets red when someone says like a ass like that, oh that gets her. But let alone that word, like that never was spoken in my house, so I definitely didn't hear it at home. And I just clearly, Toby Wiedebaum told me, like that was it. So that was
Where does he live? What's his parents' names?
Exactly. My mom was like, "Oh, that Toby Wiedebaum, I'm gonna get him." She's but and I was like at a Montessori school, like you'd think that stuff doesn't. Good boys. I knew it was like daddy's boys or good boys. Good boys. Yeah.
Even on the thing, it says you must be this tall to see this movie, which is clever.
Yeah, but great marketing.
It's from the guys who brought you Superbad, which I knew that, but also Sausage Party.
Oh, well, then you had to know it was going to be disgusting. That movie is nightmare-inducing.
I remember when we first, because you had seen that movie, and then I was like, have you heard about this movie? And you're like, yeah, I've seen it. Here, I'll show you like the first 10 minutes just to give you, a taste of
because
it.
I was not intending on watching that movie again. I did not want to. I was like, let's watch like just to
10,
show
15 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, because you have to watch a certain amount to get into like.
Yeah.
Anyone who's seen Sausage Party knows.
Yeah.
This is not a plug for this movie, by the way. It's awful. But you have to get into like 10 minutes of the movie to truly get to where it starts to go wrong. And I did not intend to watch this movie. I did not want to watch it again. But yeah.
I know. But and the thing is, it's like we were only going to watch until, a certain time, but it just draws you in and you're just like, what am I watching? And then it was the very end scene and we were just like staring and then it ended. And I remember just both of us looking at each other and we're like, did we just watch the whole movie?
Yeah. That's one of those movies where you like, you want to take a shower afterwards. Like you just need
to like a car crash. You can't look away.
Yeah, and you want to just bathe yourself in like bleach. Like I'm not kidding. You understand where Harley Quinn and the Joker dropping into acid. Like you kind of understand that after watching this movie. But
oh man, you can't.
That's happened a couple times. That's happened
movie.
A couple times for me watching movies where like even in the theater where I will leave the theater, get in my car and be like, I have to watch something else. I have to like get that out of my brain. Like the Duchess with Keira Knightley. Did you ever see that movie?
I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
So that movie is. I'm a big fan of like period films, the other Boleyn Girl, Pride and Prejudice, The Duchess, like Elizabeth. I love those movies. Historically accurate or not, it doesn't matter. I love those types of movies.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I love that movie.
That's one of the tickets on the wall up here.
Awesome.
But yeah, so that type of movie I love, and so I went to see this movie. I think I was in high school, and I was driving, so I had to have been at least 16. And went to see this movie with a really good friend of mine who's like 9 or 10 years my senior, but really good family friend. And went up, saw the movie, and we both were sitting there and we're like, this is awful. It was boring. It was kind of crude in like a not just, it was gratuitous. Like they weren't trying to, it just was not a good movie for a whole lot of different reasons. And so we got back to her house, and we were like, we gotta cleanse ourselves from this. So we watched Pride and Prejudice, and everything was better. Like, and again, it was Keira Knightley, so we just went to, a better memory of her. Yeah. Because we watched the Keira Knightley, Matthew McFadden version.
Speaking about
Pride and Prejudice,
which
is the best one.
Act.
I love Colin Firth, but that Pride and Prejudice is subpar.
Well, the chemistry between those two,
Matthew McFadden and Keira Knightley,
is palpable. My favorite scene ever. It gives me goosebumps. Even thinking about it, I get goosebumps. But when she like runs out into the rain on that like little circular whatever, and then oh my word, and then the contempt in her eyes turns to like, she's like, I'm never the person who.
Like, you've bewitched me, mind, body, and soul. Pride and Prejudice is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Actually, definitely like top 5.
I watch it every year, once a year, if not twice a year. At least
once a year. Yeah, I just watched a couple months
by
ago,
myself.
Actually.
Like,
that's a great movie to watch and get all in your feels. Just when it's raining outside, thunderstorm, get in a blanket and just cuddle up and watch that movie. The soundtrack is incredible. The score in that movie is like,
the directing. There are so many scenes that are just beautiful to look at.
Judi
Especially
Dench.
like when she's swinging. Oh my word!
Love myself.
Madam,
Judi
you
Dench.
have a small garden. Ooh, burn.
Yep. That's a great movie.
Part.
Yeah, Pride and Prejudice is, and that one's my favorite version. I love Colin Firth. I think he's great.
I tried to watch
the
that
BBC
version.
Yeah, the BBC version. It's just not as good. It's just not as good.
I couldn't. I was like, this is not, no. Speaking
Yeah.
of another one, Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre's good stuff. That
one was really good.
The BBC version, because are there two film versions now?
I think so.
And then there's like the 6-part miniseries BBC version. That's the one. I love that one.
See, I haven't seen those ones, but the movie that they did with what's her face? The really homely looking girl. What is her name?
I don't know.
But it has Magneto, the new Magneto. What is his name?
The
striking jawline. I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank on everything today. It's the smoke.
It's the smog.
It's the smog outside. This is why we love Google.
Yep.
# not sponsored.
Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender. Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Fassbender.
Yes, Michael Fassbender and Mia Wasikowska.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland.
Judi Dench
She
is
in
in
that one too.
Yep, and Jamie Bell. I love Jamie Bell.
Oh yeah, he's the one who's like, "You will marry me, and you will be my wife, and you will bear my children, and you will be a minister's wife." And she's like,
no,
get out of here, leave me alone, loser. Does not sound fun at all. Oh yeah, and then there's a TV miniseries that has Ruth Wilson as Jane.
Yeah.
and Toby Stevens, who is my absolute favorite Bond villain.
That
I
is,
love
of all of the Bond, what,
Of-
25 after
yeah,
this, right?
of
This
like
is the
all of
25th one?
them.
Wow.
He's
No love
well,
for
okay,
Jaws?
no,
love for Jaws?
No, not my. Okay, I take that back.
I was gonna
because
say your favorite is 006.
yeah, but is he really a villain? Like,
Yes, he really is. He really is a bad guy.
but he
Homicidal, lunatic, quintessential James Bond bad guy.
ugh, I love him. Sean Bean forever.
Hashtag Sean Bean
Um,
forever.
I have a type. I really do.
Yeah. Short and trolly.
Sean Bean is not short. Okay.
You have two types. You have two types. Bad guy, short and trolly. And if they're together, like Tom Cruise in Contraband,
in Collateral.
in Collateral, yeah.
Give me that white-haired fox.
Yeah. That movie is decent. That movie, that's a good movie.
So good.
In spite of Tom Cruise.
He makes that film, okay?
His hair, his gray hair in that movie.
Beautiful. Oh.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I think I have that movie on DVD somewhere. But yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a good watch, yeah.
So good. But yes, Toby Stevens. When he flies out of that airplane in the James Bond movie, he just lands. He's like, "Sup? Let's fence."
Oh, that's right.
Oh man, it's so good.
So over the top. And people got mad at like Fast and Furious with the runway, but if anyone had ever seen any James Bond movie ever, they would understand,
It's
Pierce
fun.
Brosnan racing a Lamborghini into an ice palace, coming out the other end unscathed to eat diamonds off of Halle Berry's belly. I mean, come on.
Oh my word, I love the ending of that one because, like, of course, James Bond, he has sex with everyone. He's a ladies' man.
Yes.
And at the end of that, she's just like, "No, leave it in just a little longer," and you're like,
yeah,
okay, this just got rated X.
Yeah.
And then it like
It's
panned to like the diamond in her belly button.
Yeah.
So good.
Sticking James Bond, man. Ugh. Pierce Brosnan's my favorite James
good.
Bond, though.
I think he's probably everybody's
favorite. He's the one that made me a James Bond fan. Like, so I think he has to be my favorite because I wouldn't have even watched James Bond if not for him, and then going back and watching
the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my dad, he grew up watching James Bond.
Yeah.
So we watched like the older ones. And then when Pierce Brosnan became James Bond, my dad was like, "Let's watch these." And even my dad, he's like, he's the best James Bond.
He was a great James. I mean, but you knew he was going to be good after anyone who watched Remington Steele. Like, you just knew because it was like AA James Bond. Like, Remington Steele was the minor league James Bond.
Have you finished them? Have you seen all of the Remington Steeles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, because I was super surprised that you even knew what Remington Steele was. Because like me and my dad would watch it because he has like the whole set of DVDs for Remington Steele. And then when I was living with you, I think we were talking about like old movies because I introduced you to The Thin Man, which is like super old 1940s William Powell movie. But I love those movies so much.
Yeah, those are
anyways,
classics.
And then we were talking about Remington Steele, and I brought that up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, Remington Steele." I was like, "You know what Remington Steele is?"
Yeah, man, I used to watch Remington Steele. It used to come on TV here. It would be Alias, The Pretender, Remington Steele. They all had their morning slots. And so my cousin Ashley, when she lived with us, we were young. I mean, I'm talking like elementary school age, but we would watch them in the morning before school because my mom took us all to school in the morning. So they would come over. It ran when they were living with us and then after they moved out. But yeah, her and I would watch all of those. We watched Xena Warrior Princess, The Pretender, Alias, and Remington Steele. Yeah, in the morning before school. So Remington Steele was one of those shows that I found again after, like, once I grew up, and it's like, oh man, Remington Steele, what a throwback. And watch them all, just binge them.
That's what happened with me and X-Files. Like, I used to watch them when they were like reruns.
Yeah.
I think I like even snuck to like watch them at night when everyone was asleep. But because like my dad didn't really watch the X-Files. My mom definitely didn't watch the X-Files. So
I've
I
tried.
Don't know
I can't get into it.
Where as a little girl, like I was watching them, but I would watch them. And I think my dad like rented the movie or something maybe once. But and then I got reacquainted with them when I was older on Netflix. I was like, oh hey, X-Files. Yeah. And then I just was watching them. I was like, this is the best ever.
How did I ever forget about this?
Yeah. And then this came on sale like on Amazon or something for like $300. And I was like, mine.
Mine.
Like, I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, I don't even care if there's money in the bank. I'm buying this.
Credit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Blu-ray. Yeah. It's amazing.
But that is, I will say, in the COVID era, or the time that we're living in with self-quarantine and all of this stuff, I have a new appreciation for the things that I used to watch when I was younger, or like old classics, because they're all available online. And I'm like binging stuff that I haven't watched in forever. And plus there's nothing new coming out. Like Mulan's the first real movie that, and Tenet also, but that's not like, that's in theaters, and I'm not ready yet.
I don't even think that the theaters around me, which if people don't know, I'm near Seattle and Washington State, and Erinn is in Florida around West Palm Beach, which we're like direct
opposites
as you
can get on the map. Yeah, about as opposite as you can.
Yeah. In my area, I don't think
we just
any are open.
Anyone who has been listening to the news knows that Florida is off their rocker when it comes to dealing with all of this. And they were in the middle of phase 2 of reopening the state a couple months ago, and they had to stop because our numbers like went skyrocketed with Texas and those other states that were opening super early, and everyone else was saying, well, you better be careful because, well, turns out they were right. So yeah, our numbers skyrocketed, and so they backed off, but they now have just hit stage 2 again, I believe. So our movie theaters and bars are starting to reopen now.
Yeah, I saw that bars are opening, at 50% capacity?
Yeah, 50% capacity, and then the theaters are open again here. But I'm not super ready. I've got, my mom is allergic to like every medicine ever that they could give to treat this thing. My grandmother's got, every risk factor in the books that makes this, worse. And so I don't want to, more than anything, I'm just kind of trying to keep my distance from people just for their sakes,
Right.
But yeah, so I just stream on Netflix and Disney Plus and HBO Max and whatever, Amazon
Prime. Yeah.
But I've been streaming a lot of TV shows lately. I haven't been watching a lot of movies as of late. I watched some, I watched this movie, I told you about it, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, 7500.
Oh, yeah.
On Amazon Prime. That movie is fantastic. I would recommend it to anybody.
To watch.
Seems like low budget, but just like super powerful movie.
Speaking
really good action flick.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's also, this is on Netflix, but The Power Project with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I haven't.
You seen that?
No.
It was okay.
Movie?
It was okay.
TV show?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Movie?
It was a movie.
Yeah,
it came out. cool premise. Really well done with like the CGI, and the acting is really good. I mean, it's an entertaining, decent movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
Joseph
bored and you
Gordon-Levitt
want
is one of those
something,
actors that has some flops. He just has never. He's either got these like super mondo epic, Inception
like
and
500 Days of Summer.
500 Days of Summer. I actually really like
I
that movie.
hate,
I really like that movie.
hate, loathe that
It's
movie.
yeah. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I couldn't say if
I
I
saw it
feel the same
once
way about it as I used to, but
and I was like,
yeah.
she's a jerk. But then, like you think about it, and you're like, but why are you pining after her? Like, get a grip, loser. Like all the characters in my book are just losers. Just like go away.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in your story. Like that, I think that's what it is. Like these
it just
characters,
was
I'm not even
uninteresting.
interested
Yeah.
in this story, in
Yeah.
this plot line, and
Yeah.
where you're going. Like, no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Zoe Deschanel, you're cute and all, but
yeah. I mean, I could see that for sure. It was definitely a movie that I liked. It's not like, oh my goodness, I love this movie so much, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I own it.
I
But
own it.
I own it because it was $5 at Blockbuster. So they were going out of business.
They're blockbuster days.
Most of my DVDs have Blockbuster stickers on them because I bought them at Blockbuster in like the $1.99 bin when they were going out of sale or out of
Oh,
business.
wow.
Or I had rented them and they went out of business, and so I just never
Kept them?
returned them. Yeah. Like I have a movie with Reese Witherspoon. Redemption something? Red I think it's
Fear.
Redemption. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Rendition. That's what it's called. Rendition with Reese Witherspoon. It's not a super well-known movie, very underrated. But yeah, it's got the return by sticker on the box, like on the DVD case. Yeah, it's definitely not getting returned.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
No, so yeah, this is we're back, obviously. You've been
Hi,
listening
hello.
to us for all this time. Hi, hello, bonjour, hola, buen dia,
Privyet.
privyet, sure. All of the things. And yeah, so this is kind of the new normal here. We're just going to be word vomiting.
Vomiting.
Movies and apparently TV shows, because we talked about TV shows about half of this episode. But yeah, in the era of COVID that we're all living in right now, we got nothing better to do except for watch movies, and it keeps us sane, me specifically, from my day job. Watching movies is how I kind of decompress. So talking
Yes.
about them is just another way that I can, kind of just mellow out and keep my sanity and talk to my best friend. And so it's a nice little, win-win-win-win for me.
Win, 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 win,
Pew, pew,
win.
pew, win-win. So yeah, so if you enjoy this type of content, let us know. If you don't, we don't want to hear from you. No, I'm just kidding. You can let us know that too.
No, it's okay. Hit the dislike button. Any type
Yeah,
of engagement is good engagement here on YouTube. So
right, sure.
you know.
Freedom of engagement is another right. So yeah, but we're definitely going to be doing this. Hopefully, every
Once a week?
Once a week, yeah, sure.
If not twice a week, if
sure.
we feel like it.
If we're feeling frisky, we'll throw up an extra episode during the week. But yeah, you can check us out on YouTube, wherever you stream your podcasts, and
Instagram.
Yeah, we'll be on Instagram. We have a Twitter account, but probably not going to find us there very often.
No,
Twitter's
I think
hard,
Instagram,
guys.
It really is. And Instagram, we could do like Instagram Live. So
There's
that
more
we could,
things. There's more things.
We could just do so much more and
visual.
interact with you guys more
Right.
on Instagram and YouTube and,
So you can check us out on Instagram at All of the Movies.
Mhm.
And obviously on YouTube. The podcast will get up on Spotify and all of those places. But yeah, in the meantime, subscribe, click the bell to be notified whenever we have new content coming up, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Deuces.
Boom. Peace.
Bye.
That's a wrap. We out.
Um,
Oh, weren't we supposed to do like a thing, current events thing? There's a hurricane. It's going to be gone by the time anyone sees this. But
there's like 5 more out there that are coming.
It literally formed on Friday, right off the coast of where I am in Florida. And yeah, so that's fun. So we had that little like tropical storm depression thing happen and just like burst through the state yesterday and Friday and a little bit today, and it's now currently on the warpath for my brother in New Orleans. So he's actually supposed to be coming down here on Friday, but they're supposed to get smacked with Cat 1, I think. So that should be fun. So keep the Southeast in your thoughts and prayers and vibes and all that stuff right now.
Mother Earth.
Yeah, for real.
Angry.
The West Coast too, because you got fires and all kinds of stuff going on over there. You got the hurricanes, and the Atlantic Ocean is angry right now.
Yep.
And so, which is not fun for me because I have pressure headaches. So I've basically had a migraine since Thursday.
Yuck.
Yeah, so that's fun and current. This was such a vibe killer. Play this part before. Do a different current event.
Current event.
Football is back, guys, which is awesome if you're a Patriots fan because they won today. Let's go. Without Tom Brady.
Who's their new quarterback?
Cam.
Isn't it Cam? Yeah, that's what it is.
Super Cam, who I actually cannot stand. I do not like Cam Newton as a person. But he's my fantasy football quarterback, so he got me some points there. He won the game today. And all Tony Romo and company could talk about on CBS was stinking Tom Brady. Enough. He doesn't play for us anymore. He plays for Tampa Bay. Get over it.
Buccaneers.
And they're losing right now to the Saints. So,
are they?
That's all I have to say.
Did you hear that if what's-his-face, Drew Brees, didn't retire, or if he did retire, Tom Brady would have been the quarterback for the Saints?
I just Tom Brady should have retired with the Patriots. That's all I have to say. He's such a sellout. He pulled a LeBron James, and the reason that I don't like LeBron James is because he's a sellout. So I got nothing for Tom Brady. I've been a Patriots fan forever, and so I was always a fan of Tom Brady's. But you know what? He sold out, and I broke up with him. I unfollowed him on Instagram and on Twitter and everything. I don't care. There are so many Patriots fans who are like, he's the GOAT. He's the great. He left. He broke up with us, and so you should break up with him. I got nothing for him. When he retires, then fine. You can do pictures of him on, the game cast and whatever. But for now, he is the enemy. And you should do well to remind yourselves of that. You're welcome.
All right. So
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Last words from Erinn, the Patriots fan.
Yeah, I don't like sports or anything. That
Tom
was
Brady.
Again, that was such a vibe killer. My goodness. I got kind of angry then. Just for a couple seconds. That was.
At least you're keeping it authentic.
I am keeping it authentic. Hashtag.
And that's what this channel is all about. Real opinions, real movies.
Wow, what a tagline. Look at you. Look at that. That was such a good plug.
Thank you.
Like that. Real talk from real people about real movies. That's what you'll see here. So subscribe and
like
the videos and the podcasts and the streaming. This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be a fun
ride. An
ride.
Adventure. It's going
to be great.
Yep.
We think we're funny. So if you think we're funny, that's just
please validate us.
Plus.
Please validate us because we as millennials need the validation.
Right.
Yep.
Hashtag millennials.
Millennial. Mm-hmm.
We're 90s babies and the 30s are coming, so we got to deal with our hardships with laughter, okay?
Right. Life is hard, man, so we're just going to rant about things to you the 155 people on YouTube that currently subscribe to us, and hopefully more. Hopefully more.
That'd be cool.
But
you
not,
know what?
We get it.
And honestly, like, just talking with you about movies and stuff is great. All right,
Cool.
so that was today's discussion. Most of our discussions are going to be focused around one topic.
Hopefully they'll be more like, structured and not quite as, because today was just like a we're back and this is our personality on camera, so
exactly.
Get used to it.
So, goodbye.
Peace out.
For now.
Wow, that sounded very Walter Cronkite of you. This has been the Daily News. That's not Walter Cronkite. I don't.
This has been all of the movies.
This has been the
Please
All of the
tune
Movies
in.
podcast.
Oh no. Okay, so speaking of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, at the
where do you find the threads to pull this stuff to?
Listen. So at the end,
listen, Linda. Sorry.
Listen. So at the end, they're like, our heroes just defeated blah blah blah, but now they're in a pickle for blah blah blah. Tune in to next week's exciting episode to see how it turns out.
Blah blah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so fun. It's so great. It's so
that
great.
Sounds like a soap opera. Previously on Days of Our Lives. Dun, 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 dun. Next time on All of the Movies, another useless rant about some topic in movies.
We're not useless.
We're useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, full of use. We are us two here today with you.
Goodbye.
My brain's broken.
My brain's broken.
But for real though, next week's will be more structured. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but I promise we'll structure it. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be just like this. And you know what? If you watch this whole thing, then you liked it. So
yeah.
Or we're the podcast version of Sausage Party, and I really hope that's not true. I hope you didn't get this far just because you could literally not turn it off because we're like a car crash. That would make me sad. But yeah, that's the end.
All right, Erinn. Goodbye.
That was me doing a... What?
Wingapo.
What language is that?
Pocahontas.
Oh.
Wingapo.
I do not remember that in that movie. I haven't seen Pocahontas.
Like the cartoon?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Miko.
I
love Miko. But yeah, she's like, Wingapo, father.
I don't remember. I haven't seen Pocahontas in a long time.
Well, you should watch it more. It's great.
Ouch. Yes, ma'am, Sergeant.
Anyways, okay. Goodbye, guys. Bye.
Bye.